Welcome to our church business administration class here at Southeastern University. This is your instructor, Dr. Larry Asplund, coming to you once again as we move quickly now toward the finish line in our class. I wanted to stop by this evening and welcome you to week 6. And so here we go. We've got the final assignments before us, as well as some very, very important readings and discussion in week 6. So the week 6 themes are these. First of all, building a culture of stewardship in the local church. Then number 2, budgeting in the local church. So you will see that much of what you are assigned in week 6 contributes directly to your week 7 assignment. And then financial turnaround in the local church. What do you do? Occasionally churches run into a financial bump for some reason, and what do you do in that kind of situation? I think it's great to, not that we're anticipating it, but, it happens. So it's great to be able to spend some time looking together at it. The week 6 reading, first of all, review the slides, number 1 to 13, and Dr. Hemby's excellent presentation on resourcing the kingdom. And then you have some very good, very practical chapters in the text by David Pollock, chapter 6 on the fundamentals of budgeting, chapter 7 on budgeting and forecasting, and once again, those are directly related to your week 7 assignment. And then chapter 11, how to turn around a financially troubled church. That may not be you, but, it could be eventually some congregation that you're aware of. So having those skills, those insights is going to be very helpful. God could use you in a wonderful way. Week 6 discussion, first of all, asks the general question, why is stewardship important? It seems rhetorical, but it leads to the second leadership question, which is how can leaders or administrators ingrain the importance of stewardship in the culture of the local church so that we are thinking on all levels about the need to be faithful and wise and productive in our stewardship as we do the work of the Lord together as a team. So very, very good, very important discussion this week. Let me quickly review, I gave you some details last week, but let me quickly review the week 7 assignment that's coming right up just around the corner. You're building a budget for a theoretical church of about 180 in attendance with an annual giving totaling around $200,000. So your project involves 2 pieces. First of all, a 2-page description of the church, including specific budgetary considerations, a description of the demographics, the vision and mission. Ultimately, the budget has to be more about mission than it is about finances. The monetary pie is only so big, but the way you divide it up is determined by your mission. And that determines priorities. And you're going to create a specific ministry budget. It includes sources of revenue and projected expenses. And so that's, I would recommend as a possibility you just writing your 2-page description of the church as a Microsoft Word document, then use something like a table or an even Excel spreadsheet to create your budget. And that's going to be very helpful. Once again, be sure to keep in mind those excellent resources in our text this week. Then let me just introduce week 8, although of course you have a syllabus, and I'm sure you've already taken a look at this, but the week 8 assignment is very important, and it's coming up at the end. In week 8, you're going to conduct an interview with someone presently serving in the capacity of church administration. Could be someone with a staff responsibility, a pastor, youth pastor, church administrator. Some of our larger congregations have an executive pastor, and I've served in that capacity a couple of times. Whoever it might be, or even just someone in a departmental role. You want someone who wrestles with these administration issues. And then questions for the interview are to be constructed from topics found in the assigned text in your discussions, and they should be extensive enough to allow for a 1-hour interview. I would recommend you begin by writing out your questions. Review what we have been looking at and discussing together in our class, and write out your questions so that it will reflect those learnings. The interview is to be summarized into a 6 to 8 page paper, a report. And, the syllabus specifies double space times Roman 12-point font. It does so simply because I suppose it would be possible, and you need 1-inch margins. I suppose it'd be possible to have a 2-inch margins and 16-point font and have 6 to 8 pages. But, to keep it reasonable and honest. The paper then is to include the following items: the date, time, and length of the interview, the title of the person interviewed. You can mention his or her name, but you don't have to for confidentiality purposes. The specific questions, which again is very important in your grade, and then the substance of the answers. So you don't have to record, a transcript of the answers, but the substance of the answers. And this is a very important assignment. It's kind of a way for you to summarize what you have learned and see it applied in a practical context for our class. It's worth 30% of the final grade. So creating a culture of stewardship in the local church is so very, very important, to have everybody, not just leadership, not just staff folks, but everybody in the congregation realizing that we're here together not for Christian entertainment. We're here on a mission. This is a matter of the kingdom of God, a matter of serving the Lord faithfully and productively, and having that sense. There should be no one in the peanut gallery in a local church or local congregation, unless they're just checking you out. If they're a member, we want them to know that all of us together have this kind of desire to be faithful. So it's going to be another great week. Week 6 is going to be fantastic. It's going to contribute directly to your leadership ability, your ability to be a blessing in your context. Once again, don't hesitate to let me know how I may serve you. If life has happened to you and you feel like you've gotten behind, let me know. Let's work together on it. I'm committed to you, and I'm committed to your learning, and I'm committed to your success in this class. So God bless you, everybody. I just pray that you have a wonderful week 6.